Hitler was the product of European colonization and white supremacy. He just had a different version, which excluded Jews as well. But Europe had been doing what Hitler was doing for centuries before that. Europe had been doing what Hitler was doing for centuries before that. Mass murder is Europe's modus operandi. Capitalism is about mass murder and supremacy. Okay? So not understanding those facts is why people come up with Zionism controls everything. Because our world wasn't created by Zionism. It was created by 700 years of Europe trying to exterminate people. Bro, you've mellowed a bit. You've had a visit. Have you had a visit? What? Fuck off, Yusuf. It's so funny. It's like, if people don't shit on Jewish people, then they've had a visit. So what's the solution? My lives are available, Yusuf. You can go watch all of them. I have always had this. Yeah, because I praise Hitler. It's so crazy. These people are so like fucking genocidal themselves and racist that they don't understand what they're saying. Like, who the fuck says what Hitler did was okay? If capitalism is the problem, what's the solution? Well, capitalism. No, it's not what you said. You said Hitler foresaw this. That's very wrong. Hitler was just a white supremacist European. Yusuf said it. Yusuf, do you want to come up to the mic? Because you've accused me of something. I want to hear from you. Come up to the mic. Have you heard the latest about Erica? Nah, I haven't. It's like, it's so crazy. What do you think UAE is doing to South Sudan? Bro, UAE is fucking terrible. It's like, in order to make an assessment about the world, you must understand why the world is the way it is. Otherwise, you are incapable of making an assessment. Or you're going to make inaccurate assessments, I think. Because you won't hold the powers causing this to account. Europe hasn't implemented a single sanction on Israel. I don't think I don't think it's because the Jews control Europe. It's because Europe sees Israel as an outpost of maintaining Western hegemony. Like, Europe gave birth to Israel. And Europe maintains it because it makes sense to extract wealth from the Middle East. Because the US pressured EU. I'm not energetic today. Bro, I'm not energetic because I've watched 2 years of babies being murdered, bro. Fuck, I have off days. I'm human. I just scrolled yesterday and another child has been killed. I'm seeing children blown to pieces every day. From underneath the rubble yesterday, they picked out 100 bodies and a building that was blown to pieces 2 years ago. 100 people under one building. I've been watching that shit. it does take a toll on you guys. It absolutely, on all of us. On all of us. It's mentally fucking destroying. I have made content every fucking day since basically like a week after October the 7th. Okay? Of course I'm off. Of course I'm off. But I'm here. I'm showing up. I want to be here. Because that's what you do. If you give a shit about the liberation of Palestinians, if you give a shit, if you care that none of us are free until all of us are free, like this is not like a 2-year thing. I'm committing to this. I'm going to be here. I want to be here. Not for a silly fucking soundbite. We have to sustain it. We have to. Otherwise, it'll get brushed under the rug.
The time. And I'll never forget what I saw because it was clear in the moment that he was
Cherry.
profoundly freaked out. What I'll always remember is the way his lip was quivering, which I'd never seen before. And you very rarely see from someone that he was freaking out. And then I think he literally said to me, I might be imagining this, but I think what he literally said was, he was looking around and then he says, I need to call Erica. And
Yeah, totally, Bella. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, the moment you look away, you're just completely dragged back into all of it because of the inherent sort of culpability I think we all have. Like, this is a guilt. This is a guilt and a motivation that empowers us all, right? It's such we have to sustain this. We have to keep exposing. It's not over. But that's what it takes in a liberation movement, guys. And the reason I'm just bringing this up with Candace is very important. I've spoken about it here so many freaking times. There are other countries where genocide has been committed and no one talks about. We talk about Sudan here. We talk about the Congo. We talk about, we've spoken about Myanmar. We've spoken about a whole bunch of topics. I think if we just don't speak about it as much as Palestine, because Palestine is here right in front of our faces. But day before yesterday, we spoke in length about Sudan, right? Like, I know I would love to talk about every place all of the time. Do I condemn October the 7th? That's a good question. And this is how I would answer that question. And it aligns with Ta-Nehisi Coates for me. I think all violence is terrible. Okay? People die. I don't like death. October the 7th, however, can be explained. When you put people under oppression for decades and the world doesn't act, violence is what follows. October the 7th is a global failure. Is a global failure to recognize the oppression of the Palestinian people. I don't like the violence. Condemning October the 7th doesn't help anybody. The real thing to condemn here is the moral apathy. Is the moral apathy of the world. It's our fault. October the 7th is not just Israel's fault. It's all of our faults. We let it happen. We're part of humanity. And we should try and fix it.
Then he takes his phone and he begins calling Erica. And I don't want to disclose how that call unfolded, but he did that this your mind extends all of this, but that is happening within a minute of all of this occurring. I remember he calls Erica. Around the same time, I pull out my phone and I call my mom just to say, Mom, there's been a shooting. You're going to see it on the news. I'm okay. Pray for me. I've got to go. And I remember that call. And around the time I put that phone away, and then he immediately calls his dad. He calls Rob McCoy. And he says, Dad, someone shot Charlie. You need to call all of your pastor friends. Charlie was hit. We need everyone to pray right now. And that's what he told him.
Okay, so that's just not right. And so
welcome.
when he says, I might be imagining this, for I'll never forget, followed by I might be imagining this, probably means that maybe you forgot and like you really could be imagining. Now, for me personally, I think the normal physiological response in these high adrenaline situations for most people is you lock in. That they're literally your body, when it goes through something, when it's terrified and it's going through like sort of like you are really paying attention to details. We've learned about this many times over in health class growing up. This is why they talk about that fight or flight response, and quite literally there's stuff happening to your body. And so there's a lot of details here that are just not accurate. And the one that surprised me the most about these call logs is I certainly feel that we were given the impression over and over and over again that the first person Mikey called was Erica, right? He called Erica. We were told this by many people also that he trained, like he almost like went to a camp and trained, and Charlie was like, 1, 2, 3, go, and like fast, 1, 2, 3, go. That's why he walked away. 1, 2, 3, go, and just told him, this is what the first thing you do is. Well, he didn't do that. Actually, the first person he called was his wife. He called Elizabeth McCoy, and then he stayed on the phone with his wife for 10 minutes. And during those 10 minutes, he three-wayed Erica 3 minutes after the shot went off.
The other thing is, over the last few years, another person that I've listened to who was asked this question, do you condemn October the 7th or do you condemn Hamas, was another person, Arundhati Roy, right? And she said, we have no right to judge how people who are being oppressed choose to resist their oppressor. We have no right to make a judgment. We have no right. We also have no right to judge how oppressed people choose as their allies. We don't have the right to judge that, especially if we live in a country that has privileges. We can't judge them. So asking if you condemn Hamas or if you condemn October the 7th, you can't. You just can't. No, we don't, Dua. We don't have the right to judge people who are oppressed. I'm sorry. But if you think